Day 12 of my Camino de Santiago. I'm walking up the mountain that leads to Burgos. It's freezing cold, 2 or 3 degrees. Windy. I'm tired. The bed wasn't the most comfortable. And I'm just kind of a little exhausted. And the hand holding my stick has to keep taking turns with the other hand because it just gets too cold. All I can tell you, the Camino is not a holiday. But listen to the birds. My body doesn't really feel 100%. I don't think I'm sick, but I'm just it's not fully there. I've now reached the top of the mountain. There's an icy cold wind blowing in my face. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear a factory in the distance, and I can even see Burgos. So getting closer. That cold wind is really relentlessly trying to go through to my bones pretty successfully. I don't really have enough layers to wear because you always think May in Spain should be warm, but I'm always wrong. It's not. And my body and the cold, they don't go well together. It just kind of stops to function. I need the heat. I'm trying to walk fast, but it's just so cold. I have a nice hotel room to look forward to because I thought I'd treat myself for the stay in Burgos, which is great, but on the other hand, the weather forecast looks kind of grim. And once again, the task of a very physical purpose to not freeze to death and to get there will take care of many of the silly thoughts that you often have. You just don't have the means to think about much else than how do I get there, how do I stay warm, and also when can I finally have my breakfast and coffee. Oh, I need it. It's almost quiet. Oh no. There are two ways to go into Burgos. The traditional route leads you through an uninviting expanse of industrial sprawl, devoid of much aesthetic charm. And this semi-hidden alternative takes you along the river, and it's far more scenic and serene almost. That's the one I took last year, and it was very much worth it. But today, with the chill in the air and the weather challenges ahead, I feel drawn to the rugged authenticity or even ugliness of the industrial route. Kind of as a symbolic medal to the grit required of every pilgrim eventually. So I'm going full industrial today. This road is taking me past by the tire factory, old car shops, truck repair centers, logistics centers, a Pepsi factory, some old club named Victoria. Lots of cars scattered about. Trucks everywhere. Hotel Las Vegas. Who would know? Hotel Las Vegas in Burgos. I'm taking a picture of it right now. We humans are peculiar creatures. Many of us crave meat, but we don't want to witness the unglamorous process that brings it to our tables. And similarly, we want the conveniences of modern life, but we prefer to look away from the gritty realities of their production and from the intrusion of industry upon our landscapes. Ideally, we would just prefer to have these unsightly necessities remain invisible. To remain untainted by the harsh realities that enable our comfortable existence. And if we could, we would do away with the trucks to have the highway for ourselves. But you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. Certain unpleasant tasks and processes are inevitable because they're the foundations upon which our society is built. That's a harsh truth we have to face. And walking the pastoral Camino and the industrial Camino is a pretty direct reminder that beauty and hardship often coexist and are so close together. Everything is intertwined, and nothing is anything without the other. So don't be deceived by the pastoral veneer of the Camino. Camino even sounds cute. It often is cute. But often it is not. The Camino is no holiday. It has its own ironclad ferocity that tries to test you whenever it can. And then just as you're about to give up, it brings you a ray of sunshine. It's something really nice. Some serendipitous encounter. And you are reconciled with the hardships of the Camino. I gotta say, I'm glad I took the industrial road into Burgos. I'm still on it, but it's just very interesting. I got to see a lot that I wouldn't have seen had I taken the picturesque, semi-secret path into town. I got to take a lot of pictures that I wouldn't have otherwise, which to me is always very pleasing. The sun came out every now and then, so I'm not freezing so much anymore. And all this to show you that the Camino is just one great paradox. One way or another, the Camino forces you into the moment. And if that moment is in a muddy path in the forest or in an industrial sprawl zone outside of the historic city of Burgos, it's the moment. It doesn't really matter. But you're here, and you're here now. And I will soon be in Burgos. I'm now closer to the center of Burgos, and I can't help but notice how the grimness of this morning has turned into something quite interesting. Really not what I expected, but in the end it was quite a good walk, and I'm not quite so desperate anymore in terms of the weather forecast. Maybe it's not going to be quite that bad, and if it is, I'll just have a nice hotel room to snuggle in. So anyway, yeah, that was that. Hello Burgos, here I come.